nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation special forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Hello and welcome back to Relax and Play. Well, we are playing probably one of our favorite games of all time.
Oh, definitely. Metal Gear Solid 1 is my favorite, hands down, in the series. Probably one of my favorite games ever made. Metal Gear Solid 1.
Top 5.
Oh, for sure.
Well, let's get the show on the road.
I mean, it's very archaic control-wise, so I don't know if a modern gamer would gel well with it, honestly.
I definitely agree with that, but story and character-wise, it's one of my favorites, without a doubt.
You also use circle to confirm instead of X.
Oh, that kills me.
But that's because...
Why are we in special?
Oh, because, well, I want to talk about something real quick. Metal Gear Solid is actually the third Metal Gear. But, so technically, there's other games.
There's actually quite a few games that came before this. There's at least 3 that I can think of. There's the actual Metal Gear 1, and then there's actual Metal Gear 2, which is Solid Snake.
That's
right
2
there.
games, not 3.
Well, no. Then there was Metal Gear on the NES. And then there was actually Snake's Revenge, which was another NES title.
Well,
I
you
think,
know, if
right?
it wasn't for Snake's Revenge, we never would have had sequels. Did you know that?
Really?
Oh, I'll talk about that later. That's interesting.
Well, see, I heard Snake's Revenge was actually a fairly decent game, but it had nothing to do with, like, Solid Snake, really, for the most part, almost.
She's the main character.
Well, lore-wise, I mean, it's not...
lore-wise, Metal Gear 1 barely has a story. This 13-page wall of text is more story than the actual game had.
Yeah, but I don't see Metal Gear Snake's Revenge in here.
Well, because it's not canon.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. It's not canon.
But
it's like Metal Gear Acid.
Technically, the great thing about Metal Gear Solid is it's the third installment, but it requires little to no knowledge of the first 2. For most people, this is the first Metal Gear game they've ever played. They don't even realize it's the third.
Yeah, and people get kind of confused with the whole Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, then Metal Gear Solid. The reason why they actually started calling it Solid is because it was the transition to a 3D, third-dimension Solid
It has three
texture.
meanings. It has Solid Snake, obviously.
Yeah.
What you just said, solid polygons rather than flat static pixels. But it was also Kojima's attempt to jab at Square. I was like, what the hell? He's like, it's solid because I was making fun of Squaresoft because they were big back in the day too. So, what?
I don't get it.
Whatever.
Well, then again, I never tried to understand that guy. What difficulty are we on? You didn't
No,
even...
normal.
Okay, we're on normal.
I remember. Normal.
I know it. I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
Now, also, a couple of the names are actually different for the credits in here, for the voice acting and stuff.
Well, yeah, if you, the only person you probably recognize is David Hayter.
Yep.
It's because everyone else, Jennifer Hale, Paul Eiding, they all used aliases.
Yeah.
It was something with Union, I don't know.
Because it had something to do with, like, they weren't getting paid what they wanted to get paid, or...
Something like that. It's something new. Someone more knowledgeable could... I'm a loser. I only know about Metal Gear.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface. But make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
We're probably going to be quiet for most of the codec conversations in here.
Ironic, we're actually going to shut the hell up.
Yeah, this makes a lot of fucking sense. But it's what really makes this game. I mean, just the whole conversation and stuff.
Metal Gear Solid, or Metal Gear in general, is like a political thriller, a spy movie, and a giant Japanese anime if they had a baby.
Are you into otaku too?
Did you want to address the clicking thing in certain codec things?
Just to warn you, we're playing the PlayStation 1 version.
The disc version.
The disc version on the PlayStation 3. And sometimes there's weird audio effects that go along with that. Like, there's a lot of clicking, especially when the females talk in a codec conversation.
During the codec calls, and for some reason I really noticed it with Mei Ling.
Yes.
Someone you'll meet as we keep going, but... They actually fixed this problem in the digital releases. Because I bought the Legacy Collection as well, and you get a download code for Metal Gear Solid 1 in that. And you don't hear the clicking at all. It's just like a... Sometimes it sounds like someone's walking.
It's almost like radio static. It's very weird.
Well, it's weird because sometimes it's footsteps. It's a weird sound effect. It's like someone's walking, and people are like, well, maybe Colonel and them are walking, pacing back and forth. But
Well, that's a really... Well, that's kind of a good cover-up, I guess.
credits? It's like a movie!
Uh-oh.
PC games have always been fairly cinematic, but for a console game, this shit was revolutionary.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Even though nobody really had a face. You know?
Hideo Kojima's like, gaming's auteur, he's badass. Until Konami kicked his ass out. But that's a different story.
Oh, we could rant on that, as we have
We will.
already.
We will.
We have, like, big time already. In games that don't even involve Konami.
Now, why I'm
Capcom.
sitting here... Capcom! Why I'm sitting here, actually, is because we have to wait for the elevator to come down. But, it's not because I'm just waiting for the credits to roll. And
Literally,
trying
you
to
have to wait for the credits to
Yeah.
finish. And then you can actually move up.
Oh.
It's actually kind of a nice little tutorial area. Only 2 guards. Easy to kind of get away. It introduces you to ground sounds and stuff like that with the puddles. And also them yawning in the LOS on the Salaton radar.
You know what's funny?
That was smooth.
We played this before, and I remember once I snuck right into the elevator, and Commander's like, "Whoa, how'd you do that?" What I did is I hid right there, and I waited for the soldier to walk out, and then I ran back in. But you know what happened this time? I poked my arm.
Well, the easiest way, actually, I just stayed right next to the forklift, and then he walked out, and I ran right in.
Well, I like to hug it because I'm an idiot. I want to play it desperately close.
You like being dangerous.
And that's not going to help. Because Metal Gear Solid 1 is, because of its controls, it's probably one of the hardest in the series. He's gonna see me. He's gonna probably see me. God!
You know you could just go in the elevator. Well, you might want to use this ration now and go pick up that other ration.
You know, this is a good segue to talk about Snake's Revenge. Remember, I was telling you without it, there'd be no Metal Gear sequel.
Yeah.
Well, the story goes that Konami's fucked Kojima over in the past as well. They developed Metal Gear on NES without his consent as part of Ultra Games, their secondary company.
Yeah.
We talked about it in Ninja Turtles, kind of, but they use Ultra Games to publish games to get around Nintendo's limit, whatever. But the Metal Gear on NES is a garbage port. We'll play it one day, just so I can mock it.
This is how garbage it is. You go, you kill a guard. You use a pair of binoculars where that guard was.
Are you talking about the thing AVG ended?
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, that's what's up next. And then you come out of the binoculars, and the guard is respawned, and you get killed.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just a limitation of the system.
No, that was pretty bad. I mean, the original didn't do that, did it? With the binoculars?
No, because we've tried. Well, I can't remember if the original MSX version did, but the one in the collections doesn't.
Watch out for this guy. Run and flip him.
But
It's cooler to flip him.
Snake's Revenge was developed also by a team, and it's actually a better game. And Kojima said it's okay, it's just not a good Metal Gear game. But
It's more of a Rambo run and gun kind of game.
yeah, but it has a badass soundtrack. But anyways, the story goes that one of the members that worked on Snake's Revenge talked to Kojima on a subway later after its development, and he said, I believe he said, I worked on Snake's Revenge, but I know it's not a true sequel. I would like you to do a proper sequel, and if you want, I will help you. And Kojima didn't really give it a passing thought. He said, oh, whatever. He was working on Snatcher at the time, probably.
Which is a damn good game.
But, as he got home, the story goes, he says, as I was making my way up to the steps, I already had the concept in mind for a sequel. So, because of a developer of Snake's Revenge, we actually got the rest of the series.
But now, is that a good thing?
Wow.
The way things turned out. I would say yeah.
Well, I would say it, too.
But I mean, it gave us probably a huge game from our childhood. I mean, ridiculously. PlayStation 1. I remember just being up all night, getting pissed off at my memory card because it wouldn't save my data. And so
I had no memory card.
So we had to beat it in one day.
You know, yeah, I had no memory card. I was poor as hell. We had to beat the entire game, and I remember once my brother left me to play the game because we died, and he's like, get me here. And we never got past Sniper Wolf, the first one, because we couldn't survive the torture. And finally, I got to the second Sniper Wolf battle, and he went to the bathroom or something, and I took over and died. He got pissed. I think we fought. It was funny. The perils of being poor!
If you died there, don't you just restart from the door?
It's Snake.
You do, but I think I went to exit.
Excellent, Snake.
Because there's only one game over where
You
we'll kill
down
you.
one bit.
Thanks to the VR training I did on board the Discovery.
How's that sneaking suit working?
He'll only say that if you
Nice
beat the
drive, but
VR
it's a little hard
missions,
to
actually.
move.
Kind of
Bear
cool.
with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy. I'm grateful.
Yeah, the
If
click.
it weren't for your
There was a
suit and your
click.
shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see.
Why is it only when females are talking?
Already tested, huh?
Maybe it's because of higher pitched voice.
Diversionary operation going.
Well, I've heard it with Colonel once, but it's footsteps with Colonel.
Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should
know.
have already picked them up.
Behind D.
I see it in every game.
What's a Russian gunship doing here?
That's kind of a good
I
point.
have no idea. But it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline.
That's
You've got
about
to
as long as
hurry.
these cutscenes are.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18
How can you see her?
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your
Oh, God.
radar system.
The bright dot in the middle is you,
The bright
Snake.
dot in the
The
middle
green
is
cone
you.
shape. Oh, sorry.
I wish you
The
could
red
skip
dots
this.
are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents
You
the
can,
field
actually.
of vision.
You can't?
Be careful, Snake.
But I'm not, because I like the little...
Soldiers have
No!
highly
Don't
developed
press the
senses
button.
of hearing
I'm
and
playing
vision
this shit.
therapy.
I need therapy after watching this intro.
First,
I love the actors, though, since this is a pointless cutscene I can talk over.
Chief.
The acting
actors
in this
are
game
great.
is amazing.
Same GPS transmitting
Even
network
Jennifer
sources.
Hale is not that bad.
Should have
And I never thought I'd
been
say...
as a green
Just kidding.
dot.
Get whatever
No, you're not.
information you can from
Well, you're the one that rages more at her.
alive, that is.
Well, reasons.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology.
Well, I'd hope
You
so.
won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance.
How can you make it
so
with
be
future
careful.
technology? I
We'll be
mean,
monitoring your movements by radar.
Wow, Peace
So
Walker.
contact us by codec
God.
anytime you want.
we'll
Got
get
it.
there.
I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice. I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself
Well-
with whatever weapons you
Well.
can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor.
Wow.
By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
Really pukes up his cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, we didn't see him do that yet.
If you want to get in, there's the front door.
No shit.
It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
Makes me think of SpongeBob whenever I hear that. Just saying.
What?
What
Pineapple.
about the
Oh.
air duct near the
I
door?
thought you meant the footsteps.
No, 5.56ers now.
There should also be a duct on the
There
second.
should also be a duct on the second floor.
God damn it, I played this shit way too much.
Yeah, you have.
Oh yeah, how are we doing this? We haven't addressed it. Are we gonna swap out each death,
I
or
can't
what?
see it from
Or
here.
am I just gonna play the whole thing?
Well, we'll see how you
I'll
go.
let you decide the best.
Honestly-
way. I'm counting on you.
You'll let me decide the best COA? Oh, we're SOL.
Let's go back down the
Oh,
elevator.
actually, let me swap the controllers real quick. What we're gonna do, you can see the menus. We're gonna put it on analog mode.
Yeah, with the control
I
pad.
love the D-pad, but this is one of the games. Ooh, our battery level is kind of low there, by the way.
No,
This
you're
is-
fine.
This is one of those
You're
games.
fine.
I like the analog stick a little more. Footprints.
Whose footprints are these?
Oh yeah, this would be a good way to segue into how we first played Metal Gear.
Oh God.
I rented Metal Gear NES back in the day, and honestly, I was not really.
Aren't you
a big-
gonna? You should go get the thing from the truck.
Well, I was gonna get the grenades too, but I was never really a big fan of the NES one for obvious reasons.
It was hard.
I thought the music was fine, but it has no story, which is something Kojima's actual Metal Gear also shares. But it wasn't good enough to make me a fan. So it's ironic then that this game was so amazing. The first time I remember watching this game, he's looking at my footprints, clever. Oh, there was a video game channel.
Oh!
There was a video game channel where they showed this game, and I remember the AI saying, "Whose footprints are these? Huh? A box." And it just blew mine and my brother's minds. And we're like, we have to play this game.
Surveillance camera?
No. That's another thing right there.
You telling me Solid Snake's a fucking genius, but he's shocked that a high-tech nuclear disposal facility has surveillance camera? I accept it.
I accept it too,
Solid
but
Snake. Solid Snake's a fucking badass.
it's a common courtesy.
You don't ever insult Solid Snake. Shut up. Shut up. But I agree.
It's a common courtesy.
I agree. How long have we been playing? Oh, about a good 20 minutes.
Don't even bother using it until you get
Oh yeah, you're supposed to call the colonel and he tells you Nastasha or Nastasha.
Nastasha Romanenko.
Yeah, she tells you her frequency, but I already know it because I'm fucking.
He's a pro.
Is it 4-1 or 0? It's one of these two. Oh, okay.
This is Nastasha Romanenko. A pleasure to work with you, Solid Snake.
You're the nuclear specialist that the colonel mentioned?
That's me. You can
Yeah, the
ask
colonel
me
mentioned.
anything about
Because you're supposed to call the colonel, yeah.
Also a military analyst.
Well, actually, if you go to the briefing, which I should have mentioned, they mentioned her in there too.
They asked me to participate in this operation as a supervisor from the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. I was happy to accept. We must not allow terrorists to get their hands on nuclear weapons of any kind. I hope I can help you to stop them.
You're a tough lady.
Those terrorists are serious about launching a nuclear weapon? The world cannot stand by idly and allow that to happen, and neither can I. Unfortunately, all I can do from here is provide you with information.
Hopefully that'll be enough. Another soldier here wouldn't make a difference anyway. It's good to work with you, Nastasha.
Same here, Snake.
This game has briefing files, and I know it sounds dirty, but it's where
How's
you get,
that dirty?
It's where you get a lot of the lore from. They explain things like who these terrorists are, what they're trying to do. Why'd I pause? I don't know why. Commander just pointed me. Because if I talk, the thing about my playthrough is whenever I talk, I suck ass. You can tell by watching other videos.
Just go and flip that guy and get up there.
But the briefings, I recommend you watch them, seek them out if you really are interested in the story, if this game entices you, whatever.
I mean, we can pretty much tell you whatever you need to know about it, but...
Well, they talk about Big Boss there, which they don't in the main story for a huge period of time.
Yeah.
So, that's actually something I'm sure fans
You
of the
think
series want.
can they actually see you through the glass there?
I can't remember, so I'm not risking it.
Doesn't he actually come all the way
Yeah,
down?
he will. He will. Damn it!
What are you... I knew he was even gonna do that.
Best Metal Gear play ever, right here.
Oh my...
What? Smoke up, kids!
This is gonna be a long playthrough, I think.
You know, honestly, I think you already know this, but the best Metal Gear, in terms of the ones I'm best at, is Metal Gear Solid 2.
Which is ironic,
Because that's the hardest one.
Well, it's also ironic because it's the one that you hated the most at first.
Well, now I've grown to love it. It's my second favorite.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while,
How'd you
I
get this number
still
then?
help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Then again, I think he has the same frequency.
Campbell
He
told
never
me about
changes
the
it.
situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.
Like it was in the last game. I mean...
Alright, but we'll call it there for now, and thank you for joining us on Relax and Play.
See you next time!
See you next time!